welcome to Lilybugs Library. My name's Linda, and I'm coming to you today with a book haul. And for me, at least, it's a pretty large one. I've been kind of saving them up to do it all at once, but I've got a bunch of books that I bought, and then a bunch more that I bought. Well, I should say a bunch of books I bought new, and then a bunch more that I got at the Women in Music book sale that I went to. So let's take a look. I don't know where to start, but I guess we'll start with the new ones. So I got this one through Chapters, which is basically the Canadian version of Barnes & Noble or even Amazon, I suppose. But anyway, this one is called Reading Up a Storm, and it's by Eva Gates. Look at that cat on there. And I love all the purple colors and the lighthouse and everything. And it says, misfortune blows into North Carolina's Outer Banks when a dead body in a boat on the shore leaves local librarian Lucy Richardson racing to solve a strange new mystery. So, yeah, I'm really excited to read that. I like things that take place on the coast like that. And yeah, I think it sounds really good. So, can't wait. And the next one, the next few, I guess, I bought at Book Outlet. So I find they're pretty good. I like the prices there for sure. I do find sometimes if I want a specific author or something, it can be a little bit hard to find them, but still good. Okay, so this one was a winner of a Nobel Prize. It doesn't say what year, but it's called By the Sea, and I'll try the name. It says Abdulrazak Gurnah. And this one says, a powerful story of family feuds and imprisonment set against a backdrop of corrupt post-colonial repression builds to a page-turning crescendo. It says, back in Zanzibar, Saleh Omar had a furniture shop, owned a house, was a husband and father. Now newly arrived at London's Gatwick Airport, he is just another asylum seeker. A mahogany box of fragrant oud is his most precious possession, silence his only protection. Meanwhile, Latif Mahmoud, a young professor, lives quietly alone in his London flat. When the two encounter each other in an English seaside town, the narratives each carries of their shared past begin to unravel, revealing an infinitely more fascinating story of love and betrayal, of seduction and possession, of people struggling for stability amid the maelstrom of their times. So I thought that sounded really good, very interesting, so can't wait to get started on that one. The next one I got is called Sisters of Belfast, and this one's by Melanie Moore. And this one says, orphaned during the Second World War, Alicia and Isabel Maguire, known as the Twins of Belfast, are given over to the care of the Sisters of Bethlehem. Though they were very close, the girls are propelled in opposite directions as they grow up. Rebellious Isabel turns her back on the church and Ireland, traveling to Newfoundland, where she pursues a perilous yet independent, passionate life. Devout Alicia chooses to remain in Northern Ireland and take the veil, burying painful truths beneath years of silence. For decades, the two are out of touch, but when Alicia is unexpectedly summoned to Newfoundland, she and her estranged sister begin to bridge the chasm between them. So, anyway, it sounds really good. It says it's a story of faith and religion in the world and in each other. So, yeah, I'm interested in that one, too. I think it sounds great. So the next one is called Body and Soul Food, and it's a books and biscuit mystery, and it's the first in a new series. And it's by Abby Collette. So this one, so you can see behind it there. This one seems to be really good, too. It says, in the first page-turning book of this new mystery series, fraternal twins Keaton and Kobe will pull double duty when they take down a killer while preparing to open their new bookstore and soul food cafe, Books and Biscuits. So that one sounds great. Can't wait to see what that one's like. And I got a couple for the grandkids. One is called The Vanderbeeks of 141st Street. And really like the cover on there. And I don't know how well you can see into the windows, but you can see the people doing all the different things. And it says, it's 5 days before Christmas, and the Vanderbeeker children should be dreaming about sugar plums and presents. But when their curmudgeony landlord mysteriously refuses to renew their lease, the 5 siblings must find a way to change his mind before New Year's. All they have to do is show him how wonderful they are, right? But as every well-intentioned plan goes comically awry, what the Vanderbeeks ultimately need is a Christmas miracle. Funny, heartfelt, and as lively as any street in Harlem, this cozy family novel is about the connections we make and the unexpected twists and turns life can take. And then the other one I got for them was The World According to Humphrey. And I tried to take the price tag off this one, and it made an awful mess of it. But I mean, you can see there, it's like it was covering up little Humphrey there, and I just drives me crazy when they do that. Find a place on the back, or inside the book even. Anyway, it's called The World According to Humphrey, and it says you can learn a lot about life by observing other species. That's what Humphrey was told when he was first brought to room 26, and boy is it true. In addition to his classroom escapades, each weekend this amazing hamster gets to sleep over with a different student. Soon Humphrey learns to read, write, and even shoot rubber bands, only in self-defense. Humphrey's life would be perfect if only the teacher wasn't out to get him. So that sounds good. So I think the boys will enjoy those. And the next one I got was actually a book of poems. I've been trying to kind of get more into reading poetry. I used to a long time ago, but it's just one of those things that kind of fell by the wayside. And normally the poetry I do read is like old poetry, like Alfred Lord Tennyson kind of era. So this one is called And Yet, and it's by Kate Baer. And interesting cover. And it says it's her second full-length book of traditional poetry, dives deeper into the themes that are the hallmarks of her writing: motherhood, friendship, love, and loss. Taken together, these poems demonstrate the remarkable evolution of a writer and an artist working at the height of her craft, pushing herself and her poetry in a beautiful and impressive way. Let's see if we can find a short one in here. I don't want one really long. As the Day We Were Born. Says, there are times I long to be good. It sneaks up on me like a lady in an elegant coat. She says, what could you possibly be doing here? And oh, how shame fills me. Cemeteries of regret returning to their proper form. But what of the Arctic tern, a voice says from somewhere deeper. The sooty shearwater, migrations of a dreamer, no hat or coat to speak of. Okay. I understand poetry about as much now as I did when I was younger. But I'll work on it. I'll try. And then this one I thought sounded really good as well. This one's called The Company We Keep. And it says, in this life-affirming, uplifting novel, 6 grieving strangers find solace, friendship, and a future they never thought possible. And it's a rather long description, so I'm not going to read you that at the moment. But anyway, it sounds like that would be interesting as well, hearing all their stories. So those are the books that I bought, that weren't secondhand. I guess Book Outlet kind of is secondhand, but anyway, you know what I mean. And I've got a very big stack here. Okay, so these are the ones that I bought at the book sale. I confess, one I bought, I already have. But chances are I'm going to keep the one I got and get rid of the one that I already had because it's not in as good a shape. But it is by Lillian Jackson Braun, and it's The Cat Who Said Cheese. And this one's practically perfect, whereas the other one, it's kind of tore up around the edges and stuff. So it says, with the approaching Great Food Expo, there's lots of delicious activity in Moose County, restaurant openings, a cheese tasting, and a bake-off are planned, among other events. But there's nothing as tasty as a morsel of gossip. So when a mysterious woman moves into the new Pickaxe Hotel, the locals indulge in lots of speculation. Even Quill is distracted. And when a bomb explodes in her room, killing the hotel housekeeper, Quillerin, Coco, and Yum Yum have to put aside the treats and figure out who cooked up this murderous recipe. So, and Coco and Yum Yum, if you haven't read any of the books, that's his cats. So I think that one will be really good. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where to put all these. So the next one, it was actually a box set, and I don't know if the grandkids will ever read it, but I really wanted to own it, so this is what we did. It's the E.B. White Treasury, and it's got Charlotte's Web, Stuart Little, and the Trumpet of the Swan, which I don't think I've even heard of the Trumpet of the Swan, but certainly the other two. And then when you pull them out, they're in really good condition, so I'm happy about that. Slide it back in there. Let's see. And then the next one I got because I have James, which is about Jim from Huckleberry Finn, and came close to winning, I think, the Booker Prize. Or maybe it's up for the Booker Prize this year. I don't know. I get confused with all the different ones. But anyway, I ended up getting The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain because I thought maybe I would reread that before I read James. I haven't decided if I really need to or not. I mean, I do remember it. Oh my. I'm looking through the book. It's first time I did. And I don't know if you can tell, but that is very small print. So we'll see how that goes. The next one, because I said I was getting, trying to get more into poetry, I got a book of Elizabeth Barrett Browning's selected poems. And I guess that's her on the front. And it doesn't, say much on the back. It talks about the sonnets from the Portuguese, which is, of course, her most famous one. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. That one. Interesting picture of her. I don't find that pictures back then really, nobody smiled, so it really didn't do them justice, but anyway. The next one I got, I'm really interested in. It was the winner of the Indie Book Awards, and it's actually a signed copy, which I didn't even realize, didn't even notice until I got it home, but it's got the signature of the author inside. And it's called The Hush Sisters, and it's by Gerard Collins. And it says, Sissy and Ava Hush are estranged sisters with little in common beyond their upbringing in a peculiar manner in downtown St. John's. With both parents now dead, the siblings must decide what to do with the old house they've inherited. Despite their individual loneliness, neither is willing to cede to the other's intentions. As the sisters discover the house's dark secrets, the spirits of the past awaken, and strange events envelop them. The Hush sisters must either face these sinister forces together, or be forever ripped apart. And it says, Gerard Collins weaves psychological suspense with elements of the fantastic to craft a contemporary urban gothic that will keep readers spellbound until the novel whispers its startling secrets. So it sounds really good and a little scary, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm interested to see kind of where it goes. This one I walked past 2 or 3 times before I finally picked it up, but it just kept calling me back. So this one is The Elephants of Thula Thula. And I do like, those animal kind of stories. And it says, a powerful, gripping story about an extraordinary herd of elephants and the woman dedicated to keeping them safe. And talks about how she has lived in South Africa since 1987. She founded the Thula Thula Game Reserve in 1998 with her late husband. And then when he died in 2012, she took over the reserve and was the driving force behind setting up a wildlife rehab center to care for orphaned animals. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one and to see kind of how it all turns out. And to get to know the elephants, of course. So the next one is The Secrets of Rosebriar Hall. And I confess I got this simply for the cover. It was very beautiful and mysterious, and I thought, oh, looks like it would be good. It says, in this haunting atmospheric Gothic historical novel set in opulent turn-of-the-century New York, the Gilded Age meets the classic psychological thriller Gaslight as a wealthy young newlywed finds herself questioning her new life and her sanity. So that sounds good too. I don't know why I'm getting all these gothic things. That's not really what I normally read. I had hot chocolate today, and it was a little too hot when I first started drinking it. I burnt my mouth. So this one I found, and it no dust jacket to it, but the cover itself was so pretty. It's Robert Burns' Selected Poems, and this one has thistles on it, and you can see it's all etched in there. It's really nice, and even on the side, everything's etched in. So yeah, very pretty. And then the next one is by Sophie Kelly, and it's one of her magical cat mysteries, and this one's called Whiskers and Lies. And I don't know how close I am to reading this one in the series, but I'll keep it until I do. You may have heard me talk about the series before. It's about, what is the girl's name? Ivy? Shoot, now I don't remember the woman's name. Kathleen. So it's about a librarian named Kathleen Paulson, and she's the one that solves the mysteries with the help of her two magical cats. One is Owen, and one is Hercules. Owen has a catnip addiction and is always tearing the heads off this catnip toy called the Funky Chicken. And Hercules really likes Barry Manilow, and he likes to, dance with his owner to Barry Manilow. So they're very unique, but, it's the way that she does them is really good. And then the last three I got were Louise Penny books. So I got Bury Your Dead, and it's a little bit older, and you can see it's a little bit worn, but that's okay. It says, as Quebec City shivers in the grip of winter, its ancient stone walls cracking in the cold, Chief Inspector Armand Gamache plunges into the strangest case of his celebrated career. A man has been brutally murdered in one of the city's oldest buildings, a library where the English citizens of Quebec safeguard their history. And the death opens a door into the past, exposing a mystery that has lain dormant for centuries. A mystery Gamache must solve if he's to catch a present-day killer. So that one sounds really good. All of hers are really good. So the next one I got is called The Madness of Crowds. Beautiful cover. Nice picture of her on the back, too. But I don't, as you know, I don't really care much for hardbacks, but still, it was Louise Penny. I had to get it. Ooh, nice inside, too. Really nice artwork. So this one says, Chief Inspector Gamache returns to Three Pines. It says, you're a coward. Time and again, as the new year approaches, that charge is leveled against Armand Gamache. It starts innocently enough. While the residents of the Quebec village of Three Pines take advantage of deep snow to ski and toboggan, to drink hot chocolate in the bistro, and share meals together, the chief inspector finds his holiday with his family interrupted by a simple request. He's asked to provide security for what promises to be a non-event. A visiting professor of statistics will be giving a lecture at the nearby university. While he is perplexed as to why the head of homicide for the Sûreté de Quebec would be assigned this task, it sounds easy enough. That is, until Gamache starts looking into Professor Abigail Robinson and discovers an agenda so repulsive that he begs the university to cancel the lecture. Wow, that sounds really good. What could be that repulsive? I don't know. And then the last one is The Nature of the Beast. And this one says, hardly a day goes by when 9-year-old Laurent Lepage doesn't cry wolf. From alien invasions to walking trees to winged beasts in the woods to dinosaurs spotted in the village of Three Pines, his tales are so extraordinary no one can possibly believe him, including Armand and Reine-Marie Gamache, who now live in the little Quebec village. But when the boy disappears, the villagers are faced with the possibility that one of his tall tales might have been true. And so begins a frantic search for the boy and the truth. What they uncover deep in the forest sets off a sequence of events that leads to murder, leads to an old crime, leads to an old betrayal, leads right to the door of an old poet. Interesting. Well, she certainly, even her little synopsis there is always exciting, and like it's crazy. And then the other thing I got that I have been wanting, because I've been getting more things from my local library, and the problem is with only a Kindle, I could only read the books on my phone. Sometimes if I could manage to, I would get it through like a audio, and that made it easier. But still, there were some times you couldn't really do that. So I ended up getting myself a Kobo, because I can put the library app on there, and then I can read from the Kobo. So right now I'm reading A Salted Caramel, or Caramel, however you want to pronounce it. And that is by Amanda Flower, and I started reading it because Tiffany from the Beach Bum Bookworm suggested that if I wanted a good Amish mystery, that was a good series. So, and was right, because so far I'm really enjoying it. So that's what I've been reading, and I got the Kobo Clara, and it's colored, so it has colored pages, or colored front pages and stuff. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. It's a little bit different than my Kindle, just because it's much smaller than my Kindle, but still bigger than my phone. So, it's a trade-off. But it works great, and, I'm happy that I managed to get that. So that was my book haul. It'll probably be I won't say it'll be my only one of the year. It'll probably be one of my few of the year, because that was a lot of books. So excited to, get to all of them. It'll take a little while, but it'll come. When May comes, there's a couple of readathons that I want to be part of. So I've already signed up to be part of the Sleuths in the Mystery and Mayhem readathon, and there was another one as well, but can't remember at this moment what that one was. But anyway, just a lot going on in May that I thought I'd take part in, and then whatever else I decide I want to read as well. So I think it'll be a fun month. But in the meantime, I'm reading A Salted Caramel, and I am reading, Wonderful Husband and I are reading Fahrenheit 451, and I'm also reading The Beekeeper of New York. So lots going on and lots to read, and I know tomorrow is Friday, but it's also Good Friday. So chances are I probably won't be on until Saturday, and I will, give a little update Saturday on how I'm coming with the reading and anything else. So I hope you enjoyed the book haul, and I'd love to know in the comments below what you're reading, or if you saw anything in that haul that you think you'd really enjoy. So yeah, reach out and chat. All right, talk to you soon, friends. Bye-bye. Happy Easter.